So it seems as if from the beginning of this month, a lot of you are going through a period where you are reassessing the viability of a relationship. Okay? So this can be interpersonal relationship, or it can just be a work partnership. But what I'm sensing is we have here the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles indicates a harvest. This is something that you've invested a lot of time in, and you're waiting for it to pan out. You're waiting for that period of harvest. And it seems as if you're working and working and working, and the harvest or the end is not in sight. So I do feel that things will pan out for you. I do feel that, somebody is meeting you halfway. If this is a relationship that you're waiting on, and you're waiting for when it's going to come together, when it will come into fruition. So I definitely feel that it's happening, but I do feel you're starting out the beginning of this month thinking to yourself, it's never going to happen. What am I doing? I should cut my losses, and I should, move forward and look in a different direction. And I do feel that you're going to try to do that for the first 2 weeks. We have the Fool here, indicating that you are going to work in a different, or you're going to focus your attention in a different direction. And I'm sensing as well that it's actually healthy for you to do that, okay? So don't become too fixated on a certain outcome. Don't become too... I can't even say that you've been impulsive, because, this is a card of hard work. You've been working diligently at something. It could be, a relationship for the past 7 months, 7 weeks. It's something that you've invested quite a great deal amount of time in, effort, energy, and you are also emotionally very, very invested. So I do feel as well, for a lot of you who are not, in relationships, you're doing a lot of work in order to heal yourself, in order to prepare yourself for a next relationship partner that comes through. So a lot of you have gotten through, I believe it was around February, March. A lot of painful relationships ended around that time. And you've done a lot of inner work on yourself, and at this point, you're looking around and you're just like, where's that person that, I'm supposed to be with? Where's the person that is made just for me? And you feel a little bit neglected, and you feel as if life has forgotten you, or the universe has forgotten you. And I would say that the person is around the corner, but getting to them is going to be a little bit problematic, okay? So you've been working, and you've been doing a lot of the work on the physical realm, but also, inner work on a spiritual realm to get yourself to a good place, but you just can't wrap your head around why the relationship is not there for you. Where is this person that I'm supposed to be with, for example? I do feel because of it, it is causing a little bit of pain. Now keep in mind the Three of Swords, it looks very scary. It's a heart, and no one wants to deal with a heartache. The way it's positioned, though, it's surrounded by very, very favorable cards, even with the Four of Wands, excuse me. What's underneath this is the Emperor, and the Emperor is just telling you, not yet, not yet. There's something else that I want you to experience first. It's not the heartache, but it's maybe, if it's a relationship that you're pining after, there is some element of pain, separation, or something like that happening with whoever it is that is the significant other to you. They need to sort through that in order for them to be whole, in order for them to be a good partner for you. Okay? So at this point in your life, I do feel that for those of you who are just waiting for that one fated, suitable partner that is meant, custom-made just for you, I do feel they are around, but it's going to take some time for them to work through their own inner demons, their own issues, for them to offer you love, okay? And I do feel love is on the offer here with the Two of Wands, because these cards are echoing the same themes. It's like you've done the work and you're whole now, and then this person is going to come into your life, okay? So this is a very emotional, spiritual union, and I do feel that it can also represent an offer of friendship, but usually when these two cards are coupled like this, Two of Rods and then Two of Cups, I do feel it's a very, It's a relationship that is built on balance, reciprocity, where both sides are doing their part in order to basically sustain the relationship. For those of you who might have recently, met somebody that you're just absolutely smitten by, I do feel that, there might be travel in the cards where there's separation, okay? It's not for permanent, but I do feel that, one person might be moving out. There's travel associated with it, possibly for work. And as a result, there's going to be some long-distance communication. Long-distance communication where both parties are there, but the other person is missing from the picture. So if you look at this card, it's kind of strange. The other hand is there holding the wand, which means that they are committed, but there's an element of distance, geographical distance, or something like that. Even like physical, emotional distance coming through. So that's just something that you're going to have to deal with for a lot of you this month. So I do feel, that sense of loneliness. It's sort of like, I found the one, and then, there's some life or some circumstantial situation happening where you can't really build that solid foundation together, either because the other person, work takes them away, or for other reasons. It's going to be specific to you. There's an element of separation because of distance, because of work, because of life circumstances, not because you don't love each other anymore, okay? So it's definitely something like that is what I'm sensing. Going back to what I was saying with the Three of Swords, it looks very damaging and it looks very painful. But what I do feel with this card is that it deals with separation, and it also deals with a very mental energy. It's also a minor arcana card, so when it's surrounded by the Emperor, this is divine protection. This is something that is a major help to you, especially if it's in the upright position. So on the work front, for those of you who are just, going along your business, love is going well, or it's not your major concern, and you're in a work environment, I do feel that there might have been like some type of shift in the work environment, possibly people coming, going, new. If you've been in an oppressive environment where that authority figure has recently left the workplace, or your coworkers have recently left the workplace and the office is now filled with new people and new management, and you're a little bit scared about approaching your new supervisor or new authority figure, and you're not really sure how they're going to perceive you, I would say the new people, you don't have to worry about them at all, because the Emperor does show up as somebody who is a very, very strong authority figure, but very just, very wise, and supportive. Okay, so this is somebody who can be a good mentor for you. So I do feel as well, the energy for this month is whatever emotional turmoil that you're dealing with on the home front or in your personal lives, do not for any reason let it affect your work environment, okay? Because I do feel that you need to learn to compartmentalize. Don't let energies from one sector spill into and negatively affect other sectors of your life. So learn to compartmentalize. Because at the heart of this reading here is disappointment. And it's linked up with an authority figure. Okay, so a lot of you might be in a situation where you are possibly starting a relationship with an authority figure, or somebody that exudes an air of confidence about them, or that is quite strict, quite stern, but you respect them. You could be in a relationship with someone who's very strong-minded, strong-willed, and you might be intimidated by them. So you're kind of approaching them with a little bit of cold feet, and you don't really know how you're being judged, okay? So this is something that you need to keep an eye out for. We are all humans here, and we have the Two of Cups here, which indicates a very egalitarian relationship. And everyone puts up a front, and everyone has a public persona. So until you get to know somebody, it's important not to judge. So whoever it is that you are very intimidated by, what you're sensing is that they put on a brave face and they have a very, very strong, conservative or even stern aura about them. Once you get to know them, you're going to realize that we're all humans here, and we all have, you know, as humans, we have a lot of commonalities that will allow us to relate to one another, okay? So no matter how they come across, no matter what background they have, it's all a facade, not in a bad way, not that they're putting on airs or anything like that. I don't sense that, because with the Emperor, he or she is very, very competent, very smart, confident, competent, and just is able to size up a situation very, very succinctly. So I would say that don't do anything underhanded in your current work environment. If you've been doing that and you've been worried, just, you know, work to the best of your abilities. Don't neglect anything on the work front. Otherwise, you are going to have to answer to an authority figure in your life. This is also, for some reason, I'm getting like the travel. Check your lights, especially like headlights and things like that, okay? Check your lights. I'm getting the Hermit and a little bit of travel, possibly for the Thanksgiving holidays, but that's something you want to keep an eye out for. What I'm also sensing here is that for a lot of you, okay, so for a lot of you, you might be in a relationship with somebody, and this is, I would say, you know, about like a third or possibly a quarter of you. If you've been in a relationship with somebody for quite some time, this is a month in which the relationship matures. And I do feel it's for the better. It's always for the better, but in this situation, it can go both ways. But I do feel that, you know, what might have started out as a very innocent, childlike, you know, lighthearted relationship, this is a month where one person might demand that you or the other person might demand, let's take the relationship to the next level. Let's just leave this childlike innocence behind, because whenever I see the Six of Cups, it's always indicative of children, and it's always indicative of a very light puppy love stage in a relationship. So one or both of you might be okay with this relationship, but then the other person might want to escalate things, take things to the next level, be exclusive with one another. So there's a lack of agreement initially when it comes to how you want to proceed. But I do feel whatever it is that you believe in, hold on firmly to it and fight for your beliefs, and you're going to get the outcome that you want. But I definitely see a maturation process in a long-standing relationship for those of you who have dated each other for a long time, or have known each other for a while and then are now dating. So that's definitely coming through. For a lot of you, you might have left a home environment like within the past 2 months, and you're moving to a new home environment, and you're trying to see if things are working out, or somebody that you've been living with for quite some time is now moving out of the home environment. And you're just thinking to yourselves, like, you feel a little bit of a stagnation in your life when everything else around you, people around you are growing, they're doing bigger things, and you might feel a little bit of stagnant energy in your aura, which is going to inspire you to look for more opportunities, to look more for relationships, work situations, just opportunities in life that will allow you to grow as a person. So I definitely feel, you know, that hesitation initially of stepping out of your comfort zone here with the Fool card, stepping out of your house, overcoming past heartaches, trying to, you know, not wait for the one to land on your lap, but rather going out and doing the proactive dating process in order to find the one. So I wouldn't say that you're jaded, or, you know, I feel like you're taking more charge and control in your life to go after the things that you want. So that's a very, very beautiful energy, Geminis. I do sense for the first 3 months, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of hesitation. It's sort of like, should I or shouldn't I? Getting cold feet and, you know, backtracking and things like that. At least until the 10th or so. And then after the 10th, you're getting signs and messages, and you're being steered towards the right direction. And then finally, we see a breakthrough by like the 20th, where you're just like, okay, I'm going to start over, and I'm going to do whatever it is, implement the things in my life that I want change, and to embrace new things. So you're actually forging ahead. Now what I'm going to do is pull out another card here just to see. We're ending with your card, the Page of Swords, just to see what he or she is heading towards, okay? So you're going after someone. I feel that this is, you're going after a job opportunity. You're going after another person who might not have been paying attention that you're around. So what I'm getting is like this. This person is like looking this way, okay? And there's somebody that you've got your eyes on, and you're thinking to yourself, this person would complete me. This person is so perfect and so suitable for me. But you've been kind of hiding away, possibly shying away, and not really making a move. And like I said, there's like, fear, hesitation, cold feet, flip-flopping back and forth. And I know that as Geminis, once you commit, you're in it for good. I feel like that with a lot of air signs. Air signs are commitment phobes, but once they find somebody who's worth it, this person's definitely worth it. They will commit, okay? They will commit. But the thing is, in the process of getting yourselves mentally prepared to really commit to somebody, you're going through all this mental energy, like, should I or shouldn't I? I like my freedom, but I want a relationship. It's so much work. I have to, incorporate them into my household. And we have to do things together as a couple constantly. I can't be by myself anymore. I have to plan my life around another person. So even before that first date ever even happens, you're planning out, all the subsequent steps required in a relationship. And because of it, you overthink and you start getting cold feet. Okay? But towards the end of the month, I feel you going for it. Okay? So for a lot of you, it might be, let me see, I have Virgos, I have Aries. I have Virgos, Aries, and I do have, a lot of Pentacles in general. So I do feel you going for it, and you're not going to overthink, and you're just, the future is undecided because we are ending up with these two cards where you're just going to approach a person, okay? So it looks very fruitful. For those of you who are on the financial front, concerned about money, if you are thinking about getting a salary negotiation, it is going to play out very well. The person that you're working with or negotiating with is somebody who's very confident. So I want you to make sure, if you feel you deserve that salary, you really need to go to the negotiation table with confidence and with, legitimate reasons. If you've been the type where you've worked, you've got like a myriad of activities on your resumes, and none of them really it doesn't show a lot of continuity, but it shows like you hopping around from job to job. The salary negotiation might not be in your favor. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it, but I do feel that you need to have something to back it up because you're approaching a very strong, intelligent authority figure, and you have to make yourself stand out, okay? So for those of you who are looking for work, I definitely feel by the end of this month a lot of callbacks, a lot of possibly even, getting called in for interviews as well. Coming in by the last week of the month, and whatever you've done in the past, I do feel it's going to pan out. At least one job, one relationship, it's going to pan out, and it's going to be very, very fruitful for you, okay? So the main thing is just get over this sense of, I would say, it can play out in so many ways. It's just something that we really have a lot of hopes and cast a lot of hopes and aspirations in, and it didn't exactly pan out the way we want. For example, it could be, signing a contract to buy a new house and then have it fall through the last minute, and you don't know why. Or it could just be neglecting, payments on a house, and you were never reminded, and, life caught up with you and you weren't reminded about this, and then you find out you're delinquent. So things like that. Just be very careful about keeping up with responsibilities, especially for this month, all right? Additionally, I just want to say that things are looking very fruitful for you by the end of this month. So take the initiative and go for it, okay? Stop getting the cold feet and stop flip-flopping around. Make up your mind. Whatever you want to do, make up your mind and just do it. Don't overthink right now, Geminis. For those of you who are in stable relationship, I do feel that, things are getting to the next level. And there's a lot of support, rapport, and you're going to see your partner in a brand new light, I'm sensing. As well, for those of you who are single and looking, get out there. There is a very strong soul connection here, and it is very, very strong. And I do feel if we're looking at the dating prospects for you single Geminis like this, it looks very good. It looks very good. So we're looking at you in the middle, and this is you, trying to fumble your way through the dark, trying to find the right person, okay? And you've been looking in the wrong place. So the Hermit card reverse, I look at the light and what direction it's shining at, and it feels like you're a little bit, kind of fumbling around, not really sure what you want. And once again, that flip-flopping energy is coming through, where you have an idea of what it is that you want. And you want like something that is very egalitarian, which is nice. You want a relationship that is very balanced between two similar people, common interests, common goals, aspirations, and things like that, even common culture, possibly. In the past, I feel like in the past, that's what you've always done. And you've had, you've like cultivated this idea that people should be alike, is what I'm sensing. You've cultivated this idea. I don't know where it came from, but you're thinking to yourself, possibly equal height, possibly equal salary, same job, where you have a lot in common. So you're looking for somebody that you have a lot in common with. And in the past, I don't feel that it has worked out too well. Not that it can't work, but for some reason you're starting to question, why am I looking specifically for these traits? So somebody is coming through for this month that is going to challenge your convention when it comes to, love relationship partners. You're coming up against somebody who's very, very different from you, who's an authority figure in his or her own right. And what I mean by that is they command a lot of respect from other people. They have a very charismatic aura about them, and there is a sense of intimidation. It's sort of like you encounter somebody, or you have the opportunity to date somebody who is like really out of your league. And I feel I don't like saying that, but I feel like all of us, we have this, prejudice when it comes to whether or not this person is good enough for us, or whether or not we are good enough for this person. So I do feel whatever you're feeling about relationship, things are going to change. You're going to be challenged when it comes to your assumptions, okay? So you have a very strong authority figure. That is a little bit intimidating. If this is somebody that you've got your eyes on for quite some time, and you're just like, how is this going to work? How are we going to make this into a stable relationship? Well, that's to be determined, because I do feel that you are going to go for it, because these are the last two cards that came out. You're just going to be like, I'm done overthinking it. I'm going to execute my plans, and I'm just going to go for that person. So either way, it looks very fruitful, Geminis. Your reading has so many directions.